everyone? It is your girl, Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time to do my annual if I can only keep 10 palettes. So if y'all don't know, this was started by Danessa Makeup Corner. I love Danessa Makeup Corner. I feel like whenever you want an honest and true review, she's definitely gonna give it to you, and she doesn't care that they sent it to her in PR. So like, she gonna tell what's real. Like a lot of times, like I'll say stuff and sometimes I feel like it's just me, but then I go over the next channel and she had the same issue and she's like me and she's gonna say it. So I'm like, yes, I love Annette. I think she's already done her video for this. Pretty sure she did it early in July. I usually try to do mine early in July too, but I had a whole bunch of other stuff going on, girl, and it's hard to do this video. I was talking to Maiden about it and I was like, girl, this is an impossible task. But this year I'm actually only doing 10. Like in past years I've done if I can only keep 10, and then I do like 10 for a collective, because when I first started filming this video, I had a boyfriend, so I had 5 to leave at his house, and I had 5 to leave here at my grandma's house, and then I had 10 to do actually at home. So now I'm actually just going to try to do 10 from once and nothing else. Now you might consider it cheating because I have a quad in here that came out with another palette that I'm just going to combine together as one, but otherwise I really feel like we actually got it down to 10, so bravo to me. If you're curious what's on my eyes right now, I have on the new Gloss Gods, the Color of Rain palette, I believe that's what it's called. It was the all shimmer palette I showed you all in a haul video a while ago, or I filmed a while ago. I don't know if you actually seen it yet or not, but that's what's going on with the eyes right now. Just in case you're curious, that's what we're doing and rocking with right now. So there you go. Without further ado, let's get into this video though. So I have the Blend Bunny Lure and the Trove Quad. Of course, this is what I was talking about when I said you might consider it cheating, because this is technically another palette on its own, but it's so tiny and it came out in the collection with this till I just counted it as one palette together. But y'all knew this was gonna be in here. I mean, look at this. Is this not me in a palette? It's blue, it's green, it's purple. It gives me some cute little mint shades and some pinks, and then it gives me a neutral cool tone moment over here. So like, you know, yeah, this is definitely me in a palette, and y'all knew it was gonna be in here. So this one and the Trove Quad came out at the same time, which is like, again, why I'm including in here. I love the colors in here. I love this little quad. I reach for it quite a bit because I hate to have to reach for singles, and sometimes you don't want to have to grab a huge palette just to get like a interesting dual chrome shade out of it. So it's good for that. So both of these are number 1. Judge me all you want, I don't care. So number 2 is the Moonfall palette, which is actually mattes I used on my eyes in this eye look I have on right now. Can you tell I love her? Look at it, like shade, like product is popping out of it. So hold on, let me press this down because my pink shade is popping out right now, and then like my blue is trying to like start crumbling. I'm like, look here, all my shimmer shades in this palette seem to start trying to crumble. I don't know if it's because I have to carry my makeup around different places a lot or what's going on with that, but like, anyway, honey, look at this palette. This is definitely a palette that I would have to have. I still have not paired this with the, what is it, the Peaches and Dream palette yet, just because, you know, it was here for this video because I knew it was one that I had to have in my collection. So that's why I have not done a look with it yet. I have done another look with that palette since, so sorry, I'm trying to get a makeup remover wipe out to get all this off my hands from having to press it in. But yeah, so I'm, you know, random side note, these are the shades that's on my lid. This shade is called Drizzling, and this one is called Light Break. But yeah, honey, like this one's gonna have to be in there. Let me try to clean her up a little bit, because it's hard though, because since all the shades are broken in there, I'm like, you know, just trying to make sure I don't break them, but still trying to use the palette. This is a lot, girl. Okay, but that might look a little bit better now. But yeah, so this palette had to be in here. I love a grungy moment, and it's definitely a go-to grungy palette for me this year, so it's gonna be in here. Number 3 is my Into the Night palette from Glaminatrix. Y'all know, like, this is the fun version of the McGrath Mothership 3 palette. I already told y'all that. Like, you get this fun pop right here, and you get this fun pop here when it comes to the mask, but a lot of the other shades are really similar to hers. And if you don't remember, like I told you before, look at these in like quads, and then maybe easy eye look for you to do. Plus, I feel like this would pair really nice with the Moonfall palette, but it still gives some bright fun pops because the Moonfall gives more of a grunge effect. So I feel like the light pops in here could go with the grungy shades in there, and it'll be a nice little combination. So I tried to think about palettes I would combine as well, so I could get multiple uses out of each palette with other things. Now, I feel like all y'all should have known that this one was coming. I mean, she lives in the background, so of course I had to have my hummingbird, like, and look how filthy it is. Like, I have dips in this shade and this shade and a little bit up in the green, orange, believe it or not, which we know is shocking because I don't really like orange, and the blue and the green. So it's like I definitely had to have this. And again, I feel like Tina's palette would pair nicely with the Moonfall palette as well, which is another reason I wanted to put it in here, because it has some even deeper, darker, grungier shades to go with the deep, dark, grungy shade she has. Like her blue is a little lighter than that one, so I feel like when I do that new layering technique I do with mattes, I could use her blue on top of the blue that's in that palette. She has this light powdery blue. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous collab, and that's why I had to have it in here, honey. Like, it was the requirement in life for this palette to be in this ranking or in this top 10. So next, I feel like you shouldn't be surprised about this one either. I've been using it quite a bit this year. This is the Seahorse palette from Adept Cosmetics. This is the latest one that they came out with. This is what it looks like. Honey, it's giving I'm living. I'm obsessed with this palette. I have used it at least 4 or 5 times this year, and I haven't even had it that long, because when I went to go see when I put this video out, I think I've had this maybe 2 months, and the fact that I could use it that much within 2 months shows my love for it right there. So it had to be in this video, because clearly I am obsessed and enraptured, and I feel like this will go good with some of the other palettes I'm going to show later on in the video, but that had to be in here. The next Adept palette that had to be in here, because of course there has to be more than one. I can't just have one. It's the Arrow inspired palette from Adept. Now again, I mean, these are my tones, and then you get all these cool dual chrome, multi-chrome shimmers, and I feel like they'll go nicely with the other palettes I'm about to show you. You haven't seen them yet, excuse me, and I feel like they will go really nice with those, so that's why I'm just like, yes, I'm here for it. It's giving I'm living, and it's just stunning. Plus I like the green matte she chose to go with all the different dual chromes and multi-chromes that she has in the palette, so yes, I'm here for it. It's a whole lot, and it was gonna be in here. Next, I have the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. So I feel like this would be a great grungy fall palette, and I feel like I could use a lot of those multi-chromes in the Arrow inspired palette I just showed you with this palette. Although it has a couple of dual chromes of its own, I just feel like I could use that palette with this palette for like special shimmery extra shades, and then the darker outer V and different unique tones in this palette with that palette should create some great looks. So definitely want to use this. I think I've actually used this palette with the Seahorse palette as well, so it can go with both my Adept palettes, and that was another reason I wanted to grab palettes that went with it, and I wanted some fall inspired type things, because you got to think about all year round vibes. But since I'm a colorful queen, don't expect to see like any neutral palettes in this video whatsoever. So the next one I have is the Nomad Royal Europe palette. I feel like this one would pair nicely with the Arrow inspired palette from Adept as well, because it has a lot of jewel tone like mattes to go with those like multi-chromes and dual chromes in that palette, and it has its own set of dual chromes and multi-chromes in it that I feel like could be really nice, but they might layer well with the ones from Adept. So that's why I'm like, yes, let me go ahead and, you know, like put this one in here. Plus this is like one of my favorite Nomad palettes. I had the Costa Rica and the Paradise Islands palette here too, but there's a couple of other colorful palettes that I liked more than those, so that's how they ended up missing the ranking. But if I had did the top 20 the way I normally do it, they definitely would have been in here. It's just I tried to make myself actually choose 10 for once, and so this is what we went with. So next, y'all knew my Unearthly Cosmetics Vitality palette was gonna be in here, honey. How much have I talked about this palette and raved about how much I like this palette and this color story? Yes, it's going to be in here. Again, I feel like this will pair nicely with the Arrow inspired palette and the Seahorse palette, because it has those dual chromes and multi-chromes to go with the nice colors of mattes in here, and I feel like they would just pair very nicely together. So you see how I made sure I got lots of palettes with lots of colors that I felt like went well with the all shimmer palettes that I did choose. Again, I wanted to put the Deep Sea Treasures palette in here, but I was just like, I'm not gonna do that to myself, you know. I'm not gonna play myself like that. We're just gonna go ahead and, you know, leave that one out. But again, if I got to do a top 20, I definitely would have put it in there. It's just, I was like, you know, because I feel like it'll pair really nicely with the Moonfall palette, but I was just like, we're just gonna leave that alone, because I'm definitely living for color right now, because it's, you know, summer, and I just live for color in general, and this was one that just had to go in there, so I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Last one I have, believe it or not, came out this year as well. So a few came out this year that I was like, yes, I cannot live without them. And this is the Rick and Morty X Glam Light palette. Now again, I know they say the one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty has some SA allegations or DV allegations against him, but this palette is fire. And I didn't know anything about it when I bought this. I told y'all that in the beginning of that video. And I think this color story is amazing. It's fire. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm just like, yes, give it to me. Give it to me. So, Again, I feel like this one will pair nicely with the Vitality palette, and it'll pair nicely with the Seahorse palette, and with the Arrow Inspired palette. So I tried to pick palettes that would pair nicely with other palettes and do an excellent job. So this is the last one I had to talk about, and that's it for me. So those are the top 10 palettes I would keep if I could only keep 10 palettes, honey. Ooh, that was a lot to go through, but they were definitely worth it, and I love every single one I chose. And some of them you might see in my best of 2023 so far video. So, I mean, not so far, best of 2023 video, since some of them hadn't came out when I filmed the eyeshadow portion of the video. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. You can comment down below and tell me if you have any of these, and if you could only keep 10, would they be a part of that? Okay, girl. Be blessed. Bye.